So, welcome to the very first onboarding video in our new AshayaNet Onboarding Academy, because I think AshayaNet is not self-explanatory. We need to help everyone to understand what we are building here. And we start with a token, and we explain what a token is in AshayaNet and for Beth Nousaya and what you can have here. So I try to make it in 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. Let me show you what we prepared here as a document. You will receive that in the Academy for a download, but this video is as well for our free YouTube mini-series to onboard people onto or give information about the topic of Web3 technologies, blockchain, and what it means to have a DAO structure as a new transparent model for governance and steering NGOs and charitable foundations. So let me start with the first topic here, tokens. I show you the document. We created this because we want to go from fiat money to living value. So the heart of participation for everyone who is interested in that topic. So we call it as well a living economy of restoration, and Beth Nousaya and the AshayaNet, which is the blockchain of Beth Nousaya, are creating the world's first living governance blockchain, a system where every contribution becomes both useful and enduring. So the euros which will be transferred, or Swiss franc or dollars, doesn't matter what type of fiat money you transfer, is a living share of value. So, and this living share of value needs to be somehow secured and protected for you. It should be transparent for you that you donated this thing, whatever amount it is, or if you help out with a service and you help our community, then this is a worth itself as well, and we will honor it. So to do this, we need to secure a token on the AshayaNet blockchain. And the token is nothing else but a digital key. It looks like, well, we will create visuals for that, of course. It might look like this: a digital key, a verifiable proof on the blockchain that represents real value and utility rights. For example, access to living places or restaurants, and where you have your meals, which are included, or a pool area, sauna, gym, library, computer desks, energy you want to have, access to sustainable, renewable community. Unlike classic donations or speculative crypto assets, these tokens represent real rights, traceable ownership, and lasting utility. So it's all about no loss, only flow, because the money that goes into it will be transferred into living places. These living places create money themselves, so it's a rolling ruble, I call it sometimes, system. It's a rolling, flowing money system. So what you give remains alive, useful, and growing with time. So let me go to the next chapter here. We have three types of tokens. One is LHT, Living Heritage Token, which means that is the real utility access you get. And these will be different utilities: overnight stays, workspace, wellness, education, energy. We will publish another video on the Onboarding Academy and this YouTube series where we explain exactly the utility list. What is it that you can get? It's too much for this video. So stay tuned, you will have another video for that. Governance token, what does it mean? Governance means responsibility and participation. So, for example, we have in the first huge living place, we are working on one project. We are bringing the stakeholders, the most important, together at the moment. We have 3 owner stakeholders and we have other governmental stakeholders as well. They might say no for this or that. For example, we want to drill in this area and want to get heat from the ground to have a geothermal plant power station there to be totally future proven and autark in terms of produce our own energy, hopefully having an overflow from there. So this is a governmental token because a government needs other rights. They might want to say, just stop, you can't do this or that. For environmental reasons or governmental reasons, or because some things are possible at these heritage sites we are focusing on and some other things not. Impact token, this is a recognition and a service of value you add to our community, to our movement for Beth Nousaya, and you should have some social proof or maybe even a transfer into some utility token as well, talking about an LHT. So this is a value trinity, if you want to say so, out of body, mind and heart, like heart, head and hand, I sometimes call it as well. So LHT, Gov and Impact token. These are the 3 types. So let's move on. Every contribution functions on 2 levels at once. That means for every contribution, if you spend 100 euros into this movement, for example, you will have a utility in your hand, this utility token. But it is an ownership as well. You become a stakeholder of the blockchain. It's a digital share in the AshayaNet ecosystem. So while tokens are not speculative financial products, they represent still proportional participation in the AshayaNet ecosystem. Of course, this ecosystem might increase pretty strongly in its worth. So the value might go up pretty strongly, especially when the fiat systems stall or fall, which we expect. But you shouldn't invest just for speculation. We do not want that. We want to have a living community ecosystem and a long-lasting blockchain, transparent governance model with this AshayaNet. So in the future, we will provide this AshayaNet with subdomains and sub-DNAs on the blockchain for other charitable foundations. So it's not only to steward Beth Nousaya and the first, second, third heritage site we transform into a new living heritage, but we will offer this blockchain we create as well for other NGOs, charitable trusts and organizations. So of course this can't be for free, which means even the blockchain itself becomes a rolling, flowing money system. But it shouldn't be your main aspect to invest into Beth Nousaya, please. So this is the ownership and the utility model we have behind that idea of bringing a transparent governance model onto the blockchain, using it as AshayaNet for the governance, administration, stewardship of Beth Nousaya. And we create the prototype. We use it with the first heritage site to administer the heritage site as well and to govern it. So we have a pilot here before we roll it out and allow access for other charitable foundations onto AshayaNet. So we want to give you some crazy benefits if you are with us in the beginning. These crazy benefits are double the value of utility if you be a part of our pre-foundation phase. We call it the alpha round. You see it here. So the alpha round is just up to 50,000 euros. Then we have a break before we have the first Genesis round, which is a bigger amount of value and money we collect from there to really establish the first living place and heritage. The alpha round is just there to create the foundation, to create the prototype of the blockchain, and to already build some architectural plans for this heritage site we are working on in Ireland. But it is not there to already have access. But because of that, we double the utility value for you. For example, if you spend 100 euros, one times value means you can stay, for example, one night in such a heritage. But if you spend 100 euros during the alpha round phase, we give you 2 stays for that, 2 times the utility value. I think that becomes clear here a little bit. So from Genesis round, after the foundation phase, we just give 1 time the value. Still, of course, everybody who donates whatever amount participates from both the utility plus the participation on the blockchain, being a shareholder. A little example, if inflation reduces the value of fiat money by, for example, 70% over a few years, which is not totally crazy, but rather realistic, this had the effect of tripling the value of the utility token. Okay, let's go into the heritage token, living heritage token, LHT. This represents 1 unit of access to real value. I mentioned already that we will publish the utility list. I will have another introduction video and onboarding video to this one, so I do not need to go into too many details here. I think I already explained the governance token. So with this one, there comes some responsibility. As mentioned before, environmental office, county authority, they need different tokens than just usage or access to the site. They need more rights, for example, to say stop, as I mentioned before. We have our own governance model for the blockchain. Like, we want to have everybody who is investing in that thing as a stakeholder, as a shareholder, and we give rights these shareholders, for example, to judge on one of the next projects and heritage sites, and to say or vote for this or the other. And we give the stakeholders for the blockchain, which is a decentralized autonomous organization running on this blockchain. I will explain this in an extra video, and how this is possible via app, how to click yes or no to have more democracy here on this blockchain model. We will give all these stakeholders, like you, together with the other ones, 51% of the voting rights. Still, the Council and Guardian Circle, they have 49% because they have more insights behind the scenes. They know how it aligns to other NGOs and charitable foundations who want to partner up with us. So we give the, let's say, steering committee quite huge power, like 49%, because we are legally responsible for many things we do on the blockchain, and we are very strictly controlled by the government as well in Liechtenstein, due to many factors like bookkeeping, like being transparent on every amount of money that is spent. Okay, the growth path is as well a little bit mad. Like, the alpha round is just 50,000 euros. You will have extra utility values from here or until we freeze that phase. So when we collect 50,000 euros, that's frozen for probably 2 to 3 weeks. And then we go into the Genesis round, which will help us to launch the AshayaNet and work furthermore on the first living heritage site. But from there we have the expansion rounds. Each 10 million will be an extra expansion round. And from the governance model, we will add an extra council and guardian circle per 10 million euros. So we have huge transparency and controlling instrument here in place. And if we look a little bit into the future coming in a few years, we go after the expansion rounds, probably into the horizon rounds above 100 million and maybe above 1 billion, talking about the omega rounds if we go globally. So the cycle of value is, as you can see in the background of me, the contribution, the tokenization. So you have the digital key. We have project 1, project 2. We have the proof regularly. We are fully transparent. We publish everything we do on bethnousaya.org. And this is how we build the living economy of restoration. Transparency serves trust. Trust sustains value. Value flows through AshayaNet, alive, traceable, and eternal. So that is a governance model for the next 1,000 years to come. And I think it's the only one for charitable foundations that you can find globally at the moment. And this is why we need to build AshayaNet as well. And I hope you now understand a little bit better what having a token for some fiat money, what this means. And if you have questions, please comment. Please give a like, because that helps the algorithm in the background to promote AshayaNet and this movement for human-centered value that is created It's a movement for the good. Stay blessed, wish you a lovely day, and see you soon. And if you have questions, just comment or write an email. You find everything online. Thank you. Bye.